we got to leave a line of sight for the cameras. So we got some people over here.
Yeah.
Small people can
Yeah,
fit
little
here.
kids can come in here. All the kids. Kids. Or children.
Do you guys want to sit down right there? I'm like, oh, Amanda's right over here.
Where to go? Yeah. Just figure it out.
Women are voting! 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 When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? We show up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Show up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Show up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Show up, fight back. Women are voting. When women are voting. Women are voting. Women are voting. Women are voting. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Show up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Show up, fight back. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, Oh, sorry.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, everybody. So my name's Anjali Patel. I'm a Tacoma Park mom. I'm joined here by my daughter, Sarisha. We want to thank you all for coming out on this cold, pretty early-ish morning for a lot of us for Sundays. And a huge thank you to the team at Supermajority who, within the span of 3 days, put this whole thing together. We really appreciate your hard work. So, like many of you, I read the news on Monday evening with a sinking heart. I had gone off email, and then I got a ping from a friend that said, well, I won't swear because it's a family event, but it was not pretty. So with a sinking heart and a sense of hopelessness and terror, went to bed that night just defeated. Tuesday morning, I woke up and said, you know what? These generations, they fought for so long. We can't stand here and just let this happen. That's not okay. We need to speak up. We need to speak up, and we need them to hear our voices, and we're going to be out here every day, whether it's me or you or somebody else, every day until this changes. So I'm here speaking up for my mother and my mother-in-law, both of them who went through very difficult circumstances, but had the opportunity to get the health care they needed. I'm here because I'm a mother, and I believe that my daughter should have the ability to choose her own reproductive path. I'm here because both my son and my daughter should be able to support their friends, support their family, and make sure that they're not subjected to the will of a few who are in power but don't listen to those that they're supposed to be representing. I'm here because there are all these beautiful, strong women in my life who have had to make this difficult choice. For whatever their reason, it's their reason. It's nobody's business as to why they had to make the choice, why they needed the health care they did, but they had a right to it, and everybody that comes after us should have a right to it. If the Constitution was the answer, then why was it written by a small group of elite men? Why didn't you have women write it? If adoption was the answer, why are there 400,000 children in the foster care system? If voting was the answer, then stop trying to minimize the power of people's vote and take away their right to vote and make it more difficult to vote. Let us vote. The opinion isn't written yet. It's still a draft. There's a time for it to change. The fight is not over. So speak up, vote, donate, support to the organizations that support reproductive and abortion rights. And lastly, I challenge those in the court to go spend a day in an abortion clinic. Talk to the women and the individuals that are there who are there to protect their own bodies. Ask them what their stories are before you put down this opinion without no understanding of what people go through. So thank you again for coming out. I'd like to invite Amanda Brown-Lehrman to the stage. She's the Executive Director of Supermajority.
All right, say it with me. Abortion is our right. Abortion is our right. Abortion is our right. Abortion is our right. All right, my name is Amanda Brown-Lehrman, and I'm the Executive Director of Supermajority, which is a 500,000 member strong community, and I am a proud Marylander. I am a mom to 3 young girls, and they are the reasons I wake up in the morning, literally and figuratively. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm going to be the MC this morning. We have an incredible lineup of storytellers and leaders and activists this morning, so a couple housekeeping things. You should hold your signs up. You should leave a message. We do have chalk around, and you can write something on the ground. If you hear something that somebody says that you like, scream, chant, support them. There will probably be some call and response at times. Listen. We're going to practice this a little bit. So when I say, show me what democracy looks like, this is what democracy looks like. Or when I say bands off, you can say your bodies. Bands off. Your bodies. Bands off our bodies. Sorry, we're going to try that again. Bands off. All right. And so before I turn this mic over to our next speaker, I wanted to share my own story. And 15 years ago, I had an abortion. I was young. I wasn't ready to start a family. And when I walked into that Planned Parenthood clinic in Philadelphia, I hadn't even peed on a stick yet. I just knew that I was pregnant and I was alone. I felt safe and supported, though, and grateful to have a choice when I walked in those doors. I filled out the forms, and I remember putting a friend down from college who wasn't even in the state or within, even an hour of me at the time as my emergency contact because I didn't want to call my parents. I still have never told my parents, and I'm looking at my mom right here. But I look back on that decision with zero regrets. That's not to say that it wasn't one of the hardest things I've ever done, physically, emotionally, or even spiritually. And after getting the confirmation of being pregnant, I made an appointment to get this procedure 2 days later. I showed up and I sat in this waiting room with young women, with older women, and with moms. We didn't have our friends there, our partners, but had each other sitting in that room. And let's be clear, no one wants to have an abortion, but to have that autonomy and to be able to have access to a safe and legal abortion, I am so grateful for that choice every single day. It was one of the best decisions I've made, and it was the best choice for me at that time for me. In 2016, I was ready to start a family. In fact, right after Donald Trump was elected, I turned to my husband and I told him I needed to go off birth control and start hoarding those pills as a safety measure for others in my life. And I wanted to have those babies and raise them to be outspoken progressives and organizers and voters. And literally a month later, I was pregnant with the oldest of our 3 children, Belle. So today, I'm a mom to 3 young girls, and I'm horrified that I may have more rights than they do. So I will be damned if I don't fight, and if we don't fight, because we cannot go backwards. We cannot go backwards. We cannot go backwards. All right. I'm going to turn it over to my next speaker, Rebecca Lee Funk, who is going to share with us as well. All right. Yeah. One thing that we can also do is be louder. So we're going to just say, abortion is our right. Abortion is our right. Abortion is our right. Abortion is our right. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I would hope that I have a chance to share my story with everyone here. As Amanda shared, my name is Rebecca Lee Funk, and I run an activist organization called The Outrage, but more importantly, I am a DC mother. I have been very fortunate, unlike many, to have nothing but positive memories of Mother's Day. I have an incredible mom who loves and supports everything I do, and in 2017, I became a mom when I had Leo, and again in 2020 when I had Sly. But this year is different, and this is where I would like people to listen to what I have to say. In August of last year, I found out I was pregnant with my third child, a baby that was due this very week. A Mother's Day baby, I thought. But in October, at one of my doctor's checkups, I learned that the baby wasn't going to make it, and my body was not figuring that out. So for my health and my safety, and so that my children could have a mother, I had to have a procedure, specifically an abortion. I want to note that I've hesitated to share this story because no woman should have to justify their abortion. There are no good abortions, there are no bad abortions, because abortion is health care. But it's important for me to share here today to underscore all that's at stake, because there are state legislators who will, if Roe is overturned, let women in my position die before providing access to the health care they desperately need. Striking down Roe will not stop abortions. We know this from decades of data, but it will make them unsafe. And women, especially poor women, and women of color will die. Now is the time, certainly, for us to put feet in the streets as we are doing here today, and we will do on May 14th for the Bands Off Our Bodies rallies. But it is also time to come together to figure out how we move forward strategically to prioritize access to abortion for the most vulnerable, access to this critical health care, and also to make sure that every person here and everyone we know votes. Thank you for listening. This has been cathartic.
Okay, one quick note of housekeeping. We are not going to engage with anyone who is not part of our friendly community right now. All right. Next up to the stage, we have Hala Ayala from Virginia. I will let her introduce herself, but Virginia delegate, former LG candidate for the state of Virginia.
Hold on, honey. Good morning. Good morning. Say it with me. My body, my choice. 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 That's right. Good morning. My name is Hala Ayala. I am a former elected leader. As a woman, as a mom of two, I stand up for legal abortion care. Just like you, I believe we all deserve the freedom to decide what's best for our bodies, our families, without interference from politicians. And guess what? Most Americans agree with me. All of us should have the freedom to make our own decisions about parenthood, about pregnancy, and that's why the vast majority of Americans believe in protecting the right to access safe abortion care. All all of us, no matter our zip code, no matter our race, no matter our religion, no matter who we pray to or who we love, we have the right to have legal access to safe abortion care. And let's be clear, it's still legal. The right wing of the Supreme Court and elected politicians, though, differ from us. Across this country, extreme politicians want to pose or impose their extreme views on this country and restrict American rights and control women. They want to put a bounty over our heads, criminalize reproductive health care. But I'm here to tell you, they are in the minority. 70% of Americans support a woman's right to choose. But these anti-abortion extremists are using politics to divide us, to control us, passing abortion restrictions to take away our reproductive freedom. And they're doing it for their own political gain. As the Supreme Court is poised to severely restrict our reproductive freedom, we can't forget the real health risks that women of color will face. When politicians criminalize abortion care, they put our lives at risk. These restrictive laws don't eliminate abortion, they only endanger people. They criminalize us, and they make medical staff who care for them in a very tough position. And make no mistake about it, these laws, again, disproportionately affect women of color. And if they are successful, our ability to access abortion care will lie with state legislators, with governors, with lieutenant governors. And I'm here to tell you, we can't go backwards. We cannot go backwards. That is why I am committed, just like all of you, to stand up for reproductive justice and freedoms in America. Now, I'm from Virginia. Let me just tell you a quick anecdote about Virginia. We were the first and only southern state to codify Roe. And you know what? Women, we stood up, women of color, LGBTQ members, every individual in Virginia who ran for office in 2017 and beyond, we stood up for access to abortion care. We stood up for our reproductive rights, and we'll stand up for you. We can't let controlled legislatures undo our powers and our accesses to reproductive health care, safe reproductive health care. As an Afro-Latina, mother of two, as a delegate and candidate for the Virginia State Senate, and an avid supporter for Roe, I'm asking you for your action today. Everything is on the line this November, and we will stand up and vote. Say it with me. We will vote. We will vote. I can't hear you. We will vote. We will vote. Say it with me, moms and dads. We will vote. What were you going to do? What are you going to do? Vote. To protect our right to choose, we will vote. To protect our freedoms, we will vote. That's right, we're going to vote. We're going to speak up. We're going to turn out this November like we did in 2020, and we'll do it again in 2022. Let's make this clear that we will not go back, and guess what? We will win. I thank you for having me. Thank you to all the advocates, fierce moms and dads and family members and individuals for fighting for reproductive health. Our body, our choice. Say it with me. Our body, our choice. Say it again. Our body, our choice. I'm Hala Ayala. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, this is a family affair. We have some students out here today who are also going to speak. Woo! And our first student is Sela. Let's give her a warm welcome. Woo!
My name is Sela Colavito, and I am a 16-year-old sophomore at Montgomery Blair High School. I am here today for the scared teenager. I am here for the woman in an abusive relationship I am here for the woman living in poverty. I am here for the overwhelmed mother. I am here for the woman at the height of her career. I am here for the unprepared newlyweds. I am here for the pregnant woman who fears for her life. I am here for the victim of rape. I am here for the women who do not want to bring a baby into a world that is not ready for it. I am here for myself, my future, and the futures of women across the United States of America. Enough of making women's decisions for them. I am tired of the government trying to assert control over women's bodies. What right do they have to take away our freedom? This is not about preserving life. This is about control. This is about power. By being here today, we are showing the Supreme Court that women's bodies do not belong to the old men sitting up on their benches taking away rights from those who need it most. We are showing the Supreme Court that 50 years of progress being undone will not be accepted. Thank you for using your voice, and do not stop.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Sela. That was amazing. Woo! Thank you, Sela. All right, next up I have a friend, a leader of an organization that I get to work with a lot, Ultraviolet, and also a fellow mom from my neighborhood, Shauna.
Hi, everybody. We are the majority. Say it with me. We are the majority. We are the majority. We are the majority. You can keep saying it. I'm Shauna Thomas. I'm the executive director and co-founder of an organization called Ultraviolet. We have over 1 million gender justice activists and advocates in all 50 states. I am so profoundly grateful to the organizers who brought us together here today, to the Ultraviolet members who have been telling us the stories about how how their abortion has made their life possible. As a mom, I can tell you abortion made my life possible and my kids' life possible. I'm profoundly in as well. I am apparently lost for words over how enraged I am. And we know who's doing this. It didn't happen overnight. This is a Republican plan. This is a court that was put together, stolen, and they are doing to us what they've been doing to control the bodies and the lives of the people they've been targeting for a long time, particularly the Black, brown, indigenous women, poor, rural women, LGBTQ folks. This is a time of reckoning. Every elected leader, every corporate CEO, everyone in a position of power who claims to be for gender and racial equality, this is your moment to step up. Corporations have been bankrolling these anti-abortion politicians, so they need to start by committing to stop. You created this problem with your inaction, and you, and by corporations I mean you are complicit with every donation you make to senators and governors who are taking away our constitutional rights. Ooh. Senators, it is time for you to step up, and I am looking at you, Senators Lisa Collins and Murkowski. You claim to be pro-choice, but you helped put these Supreme Court justices on this court. You created this mess. You need to step up and vote for the Women's Health Protection Act. And you need to help the Senate overcome an arcane Senate procedure that does not supersede our constitutional rights. Carve out the filibuster, do what you can, but codify Roe and do it next week. There are governors, there are state legislators who are in a position of power, who are stepping in to try to expand abortion access. We need more of that. We did not get here overnight. It's going to take all of us a time and a plan for taking back our rights, expanding access to abortion for everyone. That is a political fight at the ballot box. That means voting for people who are with us and against us, those who are not. And that means fighting for a Senate that can pass legislation and reform this court. Being here together today is so important. It is giving me life. I hope it is giving you life. Taking action to demand more of our elected leaders and our corporations is crucial right now. We shouldn't have to fight this hard for our rights, but the truth is, right now, we are what we've got. And I know we will get the country we deserve and that we desperately need and we want for ourselves and our kids and the next generations. We'll be back here next Saturday, May 14th. Go to bandsoff.org for more information about that. We will not be silent. We will not rest until we get what we deserve. We are the majority, and we will get what we need and deserve.
Right. At Supermajority, we are reminded every day of who runs the world, women, and we wrote the majority rules. We believe that a world where our lives are safe, our bodies are respected, our work is valued, our families are supported, and our government represents us. We believe that those most impacted should be front and center in the policy. We know that women cannot truly be equal unless our bodies are respected, and that all women deserve full reproductive freedom, and the freedom includes abortion care. All right, family affair. I now have the privilege of introducing my sister-in-law, Brooke Learman, to the stage. She is a delegate from the state of Maryland.
Come on, Teddy. Happy Mother's Day. I am Brooke Learman. I am a mom of two. I'm a civil rights attorney and a state legislator from Baltimore City. I am thrilled to be here with all of you today. You know, RBG, who we have in our hearts today, is looking down, and she used to say, women belong in all places where decisions are being made. Well, there are decisions being made there, and that's why we are here today. Today is Mother's Day, right? This is the day that our nation set aside, the one day, to recognize moms. The one day when we say moms matter. We don't have federal paid family leave. We face huge medical bills to give birth. We have the biggest maternal mortality rates in the world, especially for mothers of color. And today, now, a minority in this country and 5 people in there want to tell us what to do with our bodies. And we say no to that. I am so proud to be a mom. I love being a mother, and being a mother is a blessing, but it is a blessing when you have a choice to be a mother. I was proud to help lead the effort this year in Maryland, where we passed landmark legislation to expand access to abortion care, to say, not just for those who can afford it, but for everyone, this has to be a choice. We are going to train midwives and nurse practitioners and expand access to abortion care. Thank you to all of you who helped ensure that we could expand access in Maryland so that women will have a place to go. Yes. I'm now running to be the next state comptroller of Maryland because we need women in every statewide office in America who can stand up and say, our bodies, our choice. Today and every day, I implore everybody here and everybody watching, our state governance matter. We need people voting for local officials, for state officials to be door knocking, to be encouraging their neighbors, to make sure that they show up on primary day, on general election day, to make sure we elect leaders who believe that our bodies and our choices are ours alone. Now, I was proud to share my story of sexual assault in college when we were debating this year our abortion care bill. The thing that brought me comfort after my sexual assault was the fact that I had a choice over what would happen next. That is a choice that I want to pass on to my daughter and all daughters in America. It's a choice we all deserve. So today and every day, we women, we will march, we will protest, and we will run for office, and we will win. Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Abortion is our right.
Abortion is our right.
Abortion.
My duty, my responsibility is to love and protect her, to make sure she grows up grounded in strength, courage, compassion, to make sure she's inspired and has the ability to pursue her dreams and thrive in this big, complicated world. That is my duty. It is my responsibility, and it's also my heart. But today, on this Mother's Day, her and all of our abilities to control our own bodies are not just being threatened, they're quite explicitly going to be yanked away in a few weeks' time. This has been the plan of the radical right for decades. This was not some rogue 5 Supreme Court justices up in the Supreme Court making decisions on their own. They have been planning this for decades. And they won't stop at ending Roe and criminalizing our bodies. Oh no, this is just the beginning. Ending marriage equality, stopping access to contraceptives, and more. This is what is coming next, folks. Do not tell me I am paranoid. Do not tell us we are making up exaggerated stories. We didn't think this was going to happen, and it is. But here is the good news. There are more of us than them. There are more of us than them. Even today, there are more of us than them. We are the majority. Who is the majority? Who is the majority that came out in record numbers last election cycle to reject their radical agenda? Who is the majority who took to the streets immediately last week to show the world that we will not sit idly by as they strip away our rights? Who is the majority who will take to the streets again this Saturday, May 14th, in massive show of solidarity and power all across this country? And who's the majority that's going to turn out in record numbers this November to boot these Republicans all out of office? That's right. The Republicans know their agenda is third rail. They know they can't win at the ballot box. That is why they pack the courts to do their dirty work for them. They know overturning Roe is wildly unpopular. The majority is with us. They know they're the minority. They don't have the numbers. They don't have the people on their side. And they know that we are coming for them in November. Who's the majority? Who's the majority? I can't hear you. Who's the majority? That's right. Thank you.
Who's ready to fight? We are. Who's ready to fight? Woo! All right. right, next up to the stage is Renee from We Testify. You might have seen her out here if you've been out here during the week. She's coming up to the stage with her mom.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Renee Bracey Sherman. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the founder and executive director of We Testify, which is an organization that is dedicated to the leadership and representation of people who have abortions. You know why? Because I had an abortion. Like a lot of you out there, I know you too had abortions. In fact, if you've had an abortion, will you make some noise and be recognized right now? I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. Yes. And if you love someone who's had an abortion, will you make some noise? Yes. Every single one of us loves someone who's had an abortion. I had an abortion when I was 19. I knew that as soon as I was pregnant, I wanted an abortion. I knew that it would be the path forward out of a shitty relationship that my mom did not like. It was a way for me to actually finish college and actually go to class, because wasn't doing that. And it made it possible that I have a life, a career, where I get to make sure that all of you who've had abortions are seen and heard and respected and at the table as decisions are being made about abortion access for all of us. And one of the phrases I coined was everyone loves someone who's had an abortion. But when I started doing this work, I didn't know there was someone very special to me that I loved who had an abortion. Before I was born, my mom was able to have an abortion. And then later she met my dad. And then came me. It means so much. So when that decision came down, I've had a real hard week, y'all. A lot of us have. And the other day I was like freaking out. And I called my mom. And she flew out here on Thursday to be here to support me as we are dealing with this. And if you know any abortion activists, I promise you we have not slept. We have not eaten. I've been here most days this week.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that, like, all of this is possible because of our mamas and because of the access that they have and the decisions that they make. They always do this when black women are speaking. I want to point that out. Always. So it is critical. For all the kids out there, I want y'all to know, y'all are here because your mamas and your papas and your non-binary parents had access, and you all were chosen. They were able to make a decision, and we want to make sure that you have that too. Because I am one of you. I am one of you. I will say the one thing that, as much as the Supreme Court and this leak has pissed me off, it made it that I got to spend Mama's Day with my mama. So in closing, I want to give y'all like 3 things to do. 1, when you go home, please find your local abortion fund and donate to it, okay? There's the Blue Ridge Abortion Fund in Virginia, the DC Abortion Fund right here in DC, and the Baltimore Abortion Fund. You can also volunteer and give of your time. I volunteer right here, and when people come to DC for later abortions, they stay at my house. I give them rides. You can give them gas money. You can make meals for them. We need you. Give of your time in your homes. Open up your homes. So many people are traveling now and will continue to travel. Number 2, I need you to make donations, monthly donations to keepourclinics.org, okay? That is an organization to make sure that independent abortion providers, often the last ones that are in the state, get to stand. They're all over the South. We need to make sure that they are able to keep their doors open, and no matter what the Supreme Court says, that they get to keep their leases, that they get to keep their buildings, because the anti-abortion people take their buildings and then turn them into crisis pregnancy centers, and then we cannot get the clinics back, even if we are able to overturn this bullshit. Sorry, kids. Sorry, kids. I forget I'm at a kids rally. And then third, if you've had an abortion, share your story. You deserve to be heard. This is our moment, and this is our moment to lead, okay? Your story is worth hearing. Also, I just lied. I have a fourth thing. It is actually really crucial. I see all the coat hangers. That is our past. It does not have to be our future. People can safely self-manage abortions with pills. We just need to make sure people know what it is. So I love the enthusiasm. Start making signs with pills. And call your local prosecutors and tell them that they are not to prosecute anyone, no matter what happens to their pregnancy, whether it's stillbirth, a miscarriage, or a self-managed abortion. We have to put the pressure, and then when someone is arrested, as a woman in Texas was 3 weeks ago, we need to be out here rallying and freeing them, okay? So donate, show up, and to everyone who's had an abortion, I love you, I see you. This is our moment.
Happy Mother's Day. All right. Next up to the mic, we have some folks. So when this whole thing first sort of came to be, it started on a Zoom call on Wednesday night, and we were like, we should get together. Anjali got us all on this Zoom, and key to that Zoom was another student named Marilyn. Marilyn's going to step up to the stage. We're going to show her a bunch of love. She's coming up here with her grandmother, Gail. So welcome them to the stage.
Happy Mother's Day. How historic is it that we're standing here rather than being in bed with free breakfast with our kids, right? Many years ago, what we have here on the stage are representing 3 generations of our family. But it goes back much further than that. My grandfather was a doctor during the Depression, and he made a choice to help women and to help families make the decision whether they were going to put food on the table for the children and the family that they had, or make a difficult decision to have an abortion. And he chose to do that. That was almost 100 years ago. And look where we are. When Roe and Wade was passed, I celebrated with my mother, another generation, and she gave us the right and kept telling us we had the right as women to make those choices for ourselves. My sisters were raised that way, my brothers were raised that way. Now it's our turn. We want to keep Roe versus Wade. This is not only our past that we're referring, it is the future of this generation, of my granddaughter, of my great-granddaughter, and we need to support them today, and we need to support them in the future. Thank you. Marilyn? Come on, sweetheart. You come right in by your mom.
This is not...
Right by your mom.
So proud of you.
So,
Okay.
okay, go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead.
My name is Marilyn. I'm a 7th grader. Hi.
So proud.
So for me, this is like, I don't know where to start with this because I'm here, you're all here, we're supporting this cause. And my generation and the generations that are gonna come is a generation that's not gonna be given a choice. It's gonna be led by men.
the men who will never understand what freedom women felt when this law was originally passed. The men who will never understand that what they're doing here is changing my generation and my generation's futures dramatically. The point I'm making is we need to make people know what's happening here, because there are people who don't inform their kids of this. And, this could affect anyone in the future. And their parents never brought this up. They never told their kids about this. They never even let their kids know that this was a thing. No one knew it was abortion. And they might need an abortion in the future, and this just passed by them because it wasn't being heard. So I think that we need to make our voices heard, and we need to share it with everyone. And no matter what their opinions are, they need to know that this is our choice. And if you don't support abortions, then don't get one. It's our choice.
All right, Marilyn.
That's right.
All right. That's right. Say it again.
If you don't support abortions, then don't get one.
That's right. All right.
People have been working to fix this for over 100 years and have succeeded. Now there's a group of people on the Supreme Court trying to take this away from women and their families whose choice it is. Everyone in the past have worked hard and they didn't give up just so they could get freedom for their generations and my generation and generations to come so that they could have a choice. And now it might be taken away from us. I don't know if I'm ever going to have to make the decision to get an abortion or if anyone I know will ever have to do that. But we need the choice.
That's right. That's right, Marilyn. It's our choice.
All right. Good job.
That's what freedom is, right? It's a choice.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, Marilyn.
Thank you.
One more quick point, if I might. You just heard the strong voice of a very young woman. A voice that's going to be carried through not only today, but in the future, whatever path that she's going to take. This is a legacy that we have started many, many years ago. And I hope that the justices that sit on the Supreme Court can look their granddaughter in the eye, as I can to Marilyn, and let her know that I'm here to support her, whatever her choice is.
That's right.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Gail, for sharing. All right. It is the time for us to show our collective power. We have two more speakers today. One is a woman named Joy Booth, and then I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend from Planned Parenthood, Kelly Robinson, who's going to close it out. So, Joy, come on up.
Okay, two shout-outs. Before I start. One, this is my daughter, and her feminist family. I raised her that way. I raised her brother that way. This sign was made by my feminist grandson, Caleb. And secondly, I can't freaking believe we're here and doing this again. I'm so tired of doing this again. Sorry. So yes, my name is Joy Ellen Booth. I'm here to tell you about someone I never met, and that was my grandmother. In 1946, she was 36 years old. She had 7 children between the ages of 5 and 16. She had been widowed for about a year and a half and was pregnant. I don't know if it was self-induced. I don't know if it was a quote-unquote back alley. I don't know. My mother probably didn't even really know. All she ever really was willing to say is that she watched her mother bleed to death because the doctor wouldn't come. So I never knew her. I grew up without understanding what poverty does for women, does to women. And I grew up believing that every woman had the right to have good health care And whatever her choice was in that health care, she had that right. I walked my friends into the clinic when I was early 20s. I had my own abortion. I helped family members find access to service. And for many years, I was a clinic escort in New Jersey. And every Saturday morning, this is what we heard. The screaming and yelling, and we learned how to ignore it because I was there to support the woman who was coming in to use her right to an abortion. Some of them came with their mothers. Some came with their mothers and their fathers. A few even came with just their fathers. Some came with groups of friends and made it into a party. Families came and the children that they already had stayed in the van while they went in because they could not afford another one. And of course the stories about women whose health was in danger because of this procedure, but it didn't matter to the people who, I won't say they hate women. I think that it's the people who want that control over women. And make no mistake, this is about control. This is an attack on women because we have wombs. That's all. It's because we have wombs and we use them. Hang on. No mistake, this assault on women has been planned. And it is because we are causing people to be afraid. They're being afraid of, we're not going to stop here. We're going to make sure that when you have a child, that child and you and your family have health care. Everyone. That your family has an income that doesn't require 3 and 4 jobs between the adults. We're here for this reason. We believe in women as power. We believe in the right to make a choice. And we are not going to be punished for having a womb. And we're not going to be punished for using it the way we choose. Thank you. Vote, vote, vote.
I'm not going to say much, but I work in public health, and I work in global public health, and I spent most of my career working in reproductive health. And I can tell you about the fact that they moved their activism, the Republican Christian right moved their activism so that there are anti-abortion laws all over the world that our Christian right has fomented. And I can tell you, as a result, that one of the leading causes of maternal mortality is illegal, unsafe abortion. We cannot go backwards. We cannot let that happen here. This is about subjugation. It's about oppression, and it's about perpetuating the cycle of poverty. We cannot see that here. We must fight, we must vote, we must continue to stand up. Thank you.
Now is the time to stand up, to speak up, to vote, to ensure that all of our politicians know we hold the future in our hands and we demand reproductive rights. I definitely did not think I would be out here spending Mother's Day with all of you, but I'm so happy that I am. You're giving me the hope that I need right now. I'm just so incredibly grateful to be here with you. I hope you all are having, to all the moms, just a very, very happy Mother's Day to you. I also want to say to my own mom, Happy Mom's Day also. I ruined our family plans to come down here. All right. To all of you, I have a couple things to say, which is that we all have to stay informed. We have to stay sharing our stories. We have to stay together, and we have to stay fighting. To the folks that belong in this building, or work in this building because they work for us. Work in this building, work in this building. We are saying to them, watching. Women are marching. Women are out on Mother's Day with their families to protest and to rally. And women are voting. I'm going to turn it over to a badass woman. Her name's Kelly Robinson. She's with Planned Parenthood, badass organizer, badass mom, a champion for choice. Kelly's going to take it away, fire us all up, and then we're going to go on in our merry way, have our wonderful Mother's Day, and we are not going to engage with folks that are not in our community, all right?
All right, y'all. Happy Mama's Day. Oh, good people. I'm here today representing the thousands of doctors, clinicians, health center staff, call center staff who got up today and opened their doors for patients at Planned Parenthood health centers, y'all. Y'all, they provided birth control, cancer screenings, STI tests, abortion care, everything that people need because abortion is health care. And they're going to do it tomorrow, and they're going to do it the next day after that, and the next day after that, because people like you are going to fight to ensure that people get to access to care no matter what. Am I right? So, y'all, today is also this is my son, Isaiah. And today's my first Mama's Day. And it's really clear to me that I'm sure my mom loved that macaroni art I made, but she might have liked the nap even more. That's become clear. So I just want to say, what a joyful way to spend Mother's Day, moving forward this legacy that we've gotten of fighting for rights. It's been a generational struggle. We shouldn't have to be here, but we are because it's part of who we are as people. It's part of loving each other enough to fight for justice and to fight for rights and to believe that more is possible when we fight together, y'all. So let's hear it from the mamas out here. If you got snacks in your bag, let me hear ya. If you got spit up on this morning, let me hear ya. If you didn't need no alarm because you had a human one that woke you up, let me hear ya. Y'all, now that I've become a mother, it's been so clear to me that even though this world is broken, even though there's so many crises that are happening right now, we as mothers don't have the luxury of letting a broken world break us. Generations before us have fought this fight to get us to this point, to gain and protect access to rights, and simply now it is our turn, and we're not gonna back down, y'all. There ain't no judge, there ain't no politician, there ain't no law that's gonna stop us from making sure people have access to abortion care, no matter what. And it's also sticking with me, y'all, that mothering, to be a mother, it's a noun, but it's also a verb. What it means is that you care about folks. It means that you love people. It means that you believe that a greater world is possible and you're willing to fight to get there. That's what mothering is about, and that's what this Mother's Day is. So I just want to thank you all for being here today. I want to let you know that now is not the time to panic. Now is the time to organize. Look around, y'all. We're not outnumbered. We're just a little out-organized, and we got to fix that. We're working on that today. So here's the plan. Number one, we got to get people to the care they need no matter what. That means supporting health centers like Planned Parenthood. That also means supporting your local abortion funds. Let me hear it for abortion funds. People will need access to care, and we got to get them there. Number two, we're going to fight like HE double hockey sticks. Down here in D.C. and in states all across the country, because we got to make sure we are fighting back against these state laws, these state lawmakers. They got to listen to us, right? We also got to make sure that we continue to turn out. So am I going to see y'all on May 14th? Come on. Tell your cousins, tell your aunties, tell that person from college you ain't spoke to in 20 years. Let them know May 14th is the day, and we want to see you. And then, of course, we got to make sure that these folks are held accountable in November. Because this isn't just a one-day fight. This is about abortion access, but it's also about so much more. This is about all of our human rights, our liberties, our freedoms that we fought for. We are going to make sure that folks are held accountable today, tomorrow, and damn sure on November. So y'all, I want to close this out with a little call and response. Are y'all ready for that? Okay. This is all about standing on the side of freedom. Now, I told my wife I was going to get up here and I was going to sing, and I am not a singer. So y'all are going to have to support me, and also just look at her as she turns beet red. She's over in this corner somewhere. Oh, where is she? Oh, there she is. Look at her. There she is. So I'm going to say, what side are you on? And you're going to say, we're on the freedom side, all right? Okay. What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? All right, there's a verse here. There's a verse now. Okay. Y'all sing along with me. Loretta Ross was a freedom fighter, and she taught us how to fight. So we gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? All us mamas are freedom fighters, and we know how to fight. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. What side are we on, my people? What side are we on? What side are we on, my people? What side are we on? All you babies are freedom fighters. We'll teach you how to fight. You will fight all day and night until we get it right. What side are we on, my people? What side are we on? What side are we on, my people? What side are we on? Last one. All of us are freedom fighters, and we know how to fight. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. What side are we on, my people? What side are we on? What side are we on, my people? What side are we on? Come on, y'all, let's go. Let's fight. Let's get to justice.
We'll see you all back here, right here, May 14th, all right? Thank you!